afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome once again inside Pheno Field as Milford TV is happy to bring you coverage of Scarlet Hawks athletics. This is Tim Coet on the call as we continue this Milford baseball 2018-19 regular season. Today the Hawks welcome in the visiting Sharon Eagles. Milford in a pretty good stretch overall on the season coming into this game today. Winners of 3 out of their last 4. They've moved up to second place in the Davenport Division standings with an overall record of 7-6. They take on a Sharon team that is right now in the bottom of the Davenport Division, right now 1-11 overall on the season and winless against Hockomock League competition. So a tough season so far for what is a very young Sharon team, so undergoing some of the similar growing pains that this Milford team experienced last year. A lot of young, raw talent on this Sharon team, so we'll see if they can put together a strong effort here today against a Milford team that, as I mentioned, has been playing some of their best baseball of the season over the last couple of weeks. They did lose their last time out in a back-and-forth game against Attleboro on the road, but again, overall winners of 3 out of their last 4, looking to get back on the winning track here at home at Pheno this afternoon. And with baseball just moments away here at Pheno, let's dive right into the starting lineups for these two teams. We begin with the visiting Sharon Eagles. Leading it off is their shortstop, Justin Brown. The left fielder, Daniel Zagorn, bats second, with J.D. Rittenberg, the third baseman, batting third. Beg your pardon, losing track of my lineup here. Noah Martinez is in the cleanup spot batting DH. It'd be nice if I put the first names in my lineup card. Noah Martinez is your designated hitter batting cleanup, with Max LeBlanc, the first baseman, batting fifth. Playing center field and batting sixth is Alec Filipkowski, with the starting pitcher Justin Nault batting seventh. Batting eighth and playing second base is Ben Reinbolt, and in the ninth spot playing right field is Elliot Petoskey. And for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, their starting lineup looks like this. Nick Marcolini leads off in center field. Matt Shaver bats second and plays shortstop, with Colby Perez, the starting pitcher, batting third. Danny Corsini plays first base today and bats cleanup, with Tyler Almeida, the catcher, batting fifth. Batting sixth is the left fielder Carter Scudo, with Mario Lee in at third base, batting seventh. Luke Rosa is your number 8 hitter, playing right field, and batting ninth, playing second base, is Justin Appleby. Not a moment to spare as the pitch of this game is delivered, and it's sent down the left field line. That is a fair ball dropping down in front of Carter Scudo out there. And so on the very first pitch of the game, Justin Brown, the Sharon shortstop, able to drop it in for a bloop base hit. So we mentioned it just a moment ago in our adventurous trip through the starting lineups. It is the starting pitcher for the Milford Scarlet Hawks, Colby Perez, today. It's our second opportunity to get a look at Perez on the mound. Looking to continue his good season, as right now the runner takes off from first base and will get into second with the steal uncontested. The pitch from Perez in the dirt. So rapid fire action here out of the gates. And immediately Tyler Almeida is going to try to slow things down here for just a moment to talk things over with Colby Perez. So that bloop base hit immediately getting things going for Sharon and sensing a potential rally here. Runs have been very difficult to come by for the Eagles so far this season. Just 26 total runs scored through their first 12 games of the season. They've allowed 99 runs. So pitching has been an issue, and generating offense has been quite a tall task for Sharon throughout the year. They've been at 2 runs or less through the vast majority of their games so far. Their high watermark in terms of runs generated in a single game was 7, and that was in a 13-7 loss to the Stoughton Black Knights back on May 3rd. As Perez delivers a fastball that misses inside, and now he falls behind Daniel Zagorn by a count of 2 balls and no strikes. Big lead at second base for Brown as the 2-0 pitch misses low for ball 3. This game getting underway quite a bit later than anticipated. This was originally a 3:45 scheduled start. Sharon was quite tardy getting to the field. Did not arrive until just before 4 o'clock, so this game touching off right around 4:15 as ball 4 drops in low, kicks briefly away from Almeida. Not enough for the runner at second base to advance. So Sharon making Perez work here in the top of the first inning, and a good opportunity presenting itself for the Eagles with 2 on and nobody out ahead of their number 3 hitter, J.D. Rittenberg. A base hit and a walk to the first two batters of the game, and now Rittenberg stands in on the right side. And showing bunt, but another pitch misses for Perez, who is really struggling to find the strike zone. That's now 5 out of his first pitches missing for balls. The only strike he's thrown was the bloop base hit that Brown dropped out in shallow left field. And now Perez spinning off the back of the pitching rubber, not throwing through to the second base bag. Appleby was cheating in behind the runner. And again, Rittenberg shows bunt, sends it foul, and this is certainly an indication of just how tough it has been for Sharon to generate runs with their number 3 hitter at the plate right now, looking to sacrifice to push those 2 runners into scoring position. Danny Corsini not holding the runner on at first as this ball kicks away from Almeida. It's going to roll all the way to the backstop. Both runners move up a wide turn around third base for Brown, but he will hold there. And Colby Perez not looking comfortable at all here in the top of the first inning. A 2-ball, 1-strike count now. And a wild pitch allowing both runners to advance. So Sharon was ready to give up and out to push those runners along. Now they get the bonus off the wild pitch. Both runners now move up, and a chance now for Rittenberg to swing away. And instead he takes a pitch low for ball 3. And the fans here that have gathered at Fino for this game starting to get a little antsy with the way that Milford has started in this one. Now a 3-ball, 1-strike pitch, and finally Perez able to deliver a strike. Similar location to the previous pitch, but nicking the bottom of the strike zone. So now a full count to Rittenberg with the DH Noah Martinez on deck. Here's the payoff pitch, and it's sent on the ground back up the middle. A diving play for Matt Shaver, fires to first to get the out there. And in the back door from third base comes Justin Brown with the first run of the game, and the Sharon Eagles are able to take a 1-0 lead. So credit J.D. Rittenberg with an RBI on the ground out, and also credit Matt Shaver with an athletic play up the middle. That looked like it was ticketed for shallow center field, but Shaver able to slide in behind the second base bag to field the ball and still able to get to his feet in time to send a strike to first base for the out. So Milford able to get the first out of this inning. Daniel Zagorin is now the lone Sharon runner. He is at third base. And a first pitch strike now issued to Noah Martinez. Martinez now sends it on the ground to first base. Corsini has a glance off the glove, able to recover to make it to the first base bag in time to get the out, but another run scores for Sharon as Zagorin comes across the plate. Corsini may have had a chance to fire in to get that runner at home. That might have been where his attention wavered as that ball reached his glove. It kicked away, and at that point, there was no choice but for Corsini to go to the first base bag to get the out there. So now the bases are empty with 2 outs. And that pitch misses outside now to Max LeBlanc, the 5th batter to come to the plate in the inning. A couple of RBI producing groundouts for the Eagles, allowing them to jump on top. And now a 2-ball, no-strike count. Perez trying to find a way to get out of this inning. Delivers a nice pitch there to bring the count to 2-1. Now back into the windup. The 2-1 pitch is hit hard on the ground to second base. Down to the knee is Appleby to get it, and gets the throw to first base in time for the out that ends the inning. But Sharon able to catch Milford by surprise. They score twice in the top of the first inning, and it is the Eagles who take a 2-0 lead on Milford. The Scarlet Hawks will take their first swings of the game when we come back next here on Milford TV. Milford in an early 2-0 hole. The Eagles getting their first 2 batters on in the top of the first inning, both coming around to score. And now it is Justin Nault on the hill, facing the top 3 in the Milford order, Marcolini, Shaver, and Perez. The righty Nault ready with an 0-1 pitch. It's popped up in foul ground behind third base. Over in front of the Milford dugout goes J.D. Rittenberg to make the catch. And Marcolini is out number 1. One out and the base is empty now for Matt Shaver. Shaver batting .304 on the season. Takes a first pitch strike. 14 hits now on the season for Shaver. 2 have gone for extra bases. He's up to double digits in runs batted in with 11. That leads the team. A 1-ball, 1-strike count. Milford getting loud in their dugout as the pitch drops down low. Both of the regular season meetings between these two teams last year took place here at Pheno Field. They ended up playing a doubleheader right towards the end of the regular season, as Shaver sends one on the ground to Rittenberg, but this time it sneaks past him out into left field, and Shaver is on with 1 out. Rittenberg played that one to the side, tried to grab the hop on the backhand. Might have been better served getting in front of that ball. Instead, it got past him for a 1-out hit. So Colby Perez now at the plate, representing the tying run. He would love to do something here offensively after getting off to a shaky start on the mound. Not all of it Perez's fault. That contact by Justin Brown to lead off the inning resulted in a weak pop-up out to left field, but well placed, fortunately for Brown. But the walk also contributing to the rocky start to the inning, and the wild pitch as well. So Perez hoping that he can settle in a bit better when he returns to the mound for the top of the second. But in the meantime, a 2-0 pitch into Perez misses the glove of Henry Ward, and Matt Shaver able to move up to second base and made it about a third of the way down the line towards third, almost daring the catcher to send a throw down before he finally retreated to the bag. It's a 3-ball, no-strike count on Perez. Nault to the set, and the pitch, and that misses outside for ball 4. And so now it is the Hawks with a base hit and a walk. They have the tying runs aboard for the best average hitter in this Milford lineup, Danny Corsini, bringing a .383 batting average to the game today. Corsini, I should clarify, the second highest batting average on the team, the highest average belonging to Justin Appleby out of the number 9 spot. And Corsini now sends a fly ball out to center field. Filipkowski, a couple of steps towards right, able to make the catch. Tagging up at second base is Shaver. He is able to advance to third. Perez has to hold at first base. So Corsini out. On the fly out to center, 2 outs in the inning. Now runners at the corners for Tyler Almeida, who has seen that batting average steadily on the rise over the last week, all the way up to .316 now. It was hovering just above 200 entering play last week, but Almeida settling into a good offensive groove. Now takes a look at a called strike one, but Perez off with the pitch, able to take second with no throw. So the tying run's in scoring position with 2 down for Milford. And the 0-1 pitch, that spins outside, evening the count at a ball and a strike. Almeida now with 12 hits and 38 at-bats on the season. And the 1-1 pitch is belted out into right field. On comes Elliot Petoskey, but he's going to have to play it on a hop. 2 runs are going to score for Milford as Almeida right now hustles around the bases. That ball getting past Petoskey. And as a result, Tyler Almeida winds up at third base as this game is now tied up at 2. Petoskey put a charge on that ball, ended up having to play it on a hop, but that hop ricocheted right past him. And at that point, 2 runs score easily. Those 2 runs would have scored regardless. But meanwhile, Almeida ends up to third base as a bonus, so that should go as an RBI single. We'll credit Almeida with both runs batted in. And then the error out in right field, allowing Almeida to advance, as now this ball is stung off the bat of Carter Scudo, but the catch made by Daniel Zagorin in left for the out that ends the inning. But Milford able to respond as they have done so well this season, especially at home. They grabbed 2 runs in their half of the first inning, and after 1 full inning of play here at Fino Field, it is tied up at 2 between Milford and Sharon, right here on Milford TV. A fresh start now as we enter into the second inning. Both teams plating a pair in their respective halves of the first inning. So tied ball game as Perez fires in the first pitch of the top half of the second. It's a called strike into the center fielder, Alec Filipkowski. He will be followed in the inning by the pitcher, Justin Nault, and the second baseman, Ben Reinbolt. And a fastball in for a called strike 2. Nothing in 2 the count, and Filipkowski could not lay off on the swing. That ball ended up darting well outside, but Filipkowski offers, and he takes with him the first strikeout of the game for Colby Perez. A much better start to the second inning. Defensively for the Scarlet Hawks, it is Tyler Almeida behind the plate. Mario Lee is at third, Matt Shaver at short, Justin Appleby at second, and Danny Corsini at first. Left to right in the outfield, Carter Scudo, Nick Marcolini, and Luke Rosa. Justin Nault now at the dish for the Sharon Eagles with 1 down in the inning. And this ball is sent slowly down the first base line. It'll stay in fair territory. Corsini bobbles, and now we'll track it back to the first base bag for the second out of the inning. Unassisted on the out at first base. There are now 2 away, and an opportunity now for for Colby Perez to have a much more economical second inning. And now fires in a called strike. 1 ball and 1 strike on Ben Reinbolt, batting out of the number 8 spot. And the pitch misses low, and finally, after what seemed like several weeks of nothing but gloomy, cool weather here at Fino Field, we finally have an absolutely perfect day for baseball. And meanwhile, Reinbolt denying Perez the 1-2-3 inning as he works a walk. And that will extend the inning now for the number 9 hitter, Elliot Petoskey. Immediately Perez checking on that runner at first base who had barely taken a lead, able to get back standing. Wind was blowing out to left center field. Now a bit more from right to left. Not a strong breeze. Again, bright sunshine streaking down here at Pheno Field. We will certainly take it. Now another check over at first base. A low throw from Perez that time, but Corsini handles. We've seen Corsini predominantly at third base when he has not been on the pitcher's mound, but getting the start at first today with Mario Lee getting an opportunity to play the field today. Nicholas Ouimet, who we have seen at first base in each of the first 3 games we have covered on the season, not in the lineup today. Here's the pitch. It is low. 2 balls and no strikes. So Perez having a tough time with these bottom of the order bats for the Eagles. The runner takes off from first base. The pitch is low. It skips down the third base line, and no chance for Almeida to deliver a throw. And this is going to bring about a visit from the Milford coaching staff. A quick and easy start to this inning, but Perez running into trouble again. He walked Reinbolt. Now he's gone to a 3-ball, no-strike count on Petoskey. And this is one of those games where it'll test the focus of a team like Milford coming in with pretty good momentum overall on the season, despite the loss in their previous game. Sharon really struggling. It's one of those games that's very easy for the Scarlet Hawks to not come out with the same level of energy that we've seen them come out with typically on the season. And after the visit to the pitcher's mound, Perez able to fire in a strike, bringing the count to 3-1. Should Petoskey reach, we'd go back to the top spot in the lineup. Here's the 3-1, and that's going to miss outside. Back-to-back walks to the 8 and 9 hitters, all with 2 outs in the inning. And that will give Justin Brown an opportunity to take his second at-bat in as many innings. Brown singled on that bloop base hit to lead off the game. He then stole second base, advanced to third on a wild pitch, and then scored on a ground out. Has a chance to bat here with 2 runners on. And takes the first pitch low for ball 1. Perez able to get ahead of the first 2 batters he faced in this inning, but the last 3 he has fallen behind, and now another shallow fly ball out into left field off the bat of Brown, but this time playable for Matt Shaver, who drifts out into the outfield to make the catch for the out that ends the inning. So in the end, no damage done on the scoreboard. Sharon leaves 2 runners on, and we'll head on to the bottom of the second inning with the score Milford 2 and Sharon 2 here on coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. Bottom third of the Milford order coming up in the bottom half of the second. Still tied at 2. And Mario Lee swinging away at that first pitch, loops it foul over the backstop. 0-1 the count. This is our first chance to see Mario Lee at the plate. He has come up in several key situations on the pitcher's mound in late innings this season where he has done a sensational job. An underclassman, but not looking at all phased by key moments. Now a 1-1 pitch, and that's just going to nick the arm of Mario Lee, and he will head down to first base. It may have just been...
Okay.
And we apologize for the technical difficulties. Get our backstop camera back up and running in just a moment. Runner at first base after the hit by pitch, and no ball, 1 strike count now on Luke Rosa. Look over to first base, and now back to the set goes Nault, and now fires one well up and away, almost served as a pitch out. The catcher sending the snap throw to first base, and Lee able to get back. Lee right back out to a lead, being held on, and the pitch misses away again. Two balls and 1 strike the count. Back to the set, and the pitch in. All right, beg your pardon, missing outside, not missing by very much. 3 balls and 1 strike now the count. Luke Rosa up now, Justin Appleby waiting on deck. And now ball 4, misses outside. So a hit by pitch, and now the base on balls. Gives Milford 2 on with nobody out. Not exactly a brisk pace to these first couple of innings. Base runners have not been in short supply. 2 more on now for Milford, and a first pitch strike into Justin Appleby, who has been, as we mentioned earlier in the broadcast, Milford's best hitter. Over 400, 417, 15 hits on the year. 4 of those have gone for extra bases, 3 doubles and a triple. So he has really been producing out of this number 9 spot. And now that pitch misses down and away. It just barely squeaks under the glove of Ward, and both runners are going to advance for Milford. Lee to third. Rosa to second. And a 1-2 pitch upcoming to Justin Appleby, and he swings and misses. And so Justin Nault picks a good time for his first strikeout of the day. Holds the runners in place now with 1 down. And a second trip to the plate for Nick Marcolini. Marcolini 0 for 1. And meanwhile now a spin off the back of the mound for Justin Nault. Faked the throw to second, then looked the runner back to third, did not throw to either location. Now a 1 ball, no strike count on Marcolini. And the next pitch misses down low, 2 balls. Milford threatening to take their first lead of the game, a couple of runners in scoring position. And the next pitch, Marcolini pops it up out into shallow center field. Tough sky out there. Losing the cap is Filipkowski. He makes the catch. Mario Lee tags at third. He will score. And Luke Rosa able to move up to third base, so credit Nick Marcolini with a sacrifice fly. And Milford will indeed take the lead. Up now 3-2. Rosa able to advance as well, so a runner at third base with 1 out. I beg your pardon, a runner at third base with 2 down for Shaver at the plate. And Shaver swings at the first pitch and lines it out to center field for a hit. Rosa will cruise home with the second run of the inning. And Matt Shaver will tack on to his team-leading RBI total, and in the process makes this a 4-2 score in favor of the Scarlet Hawks. It is the 12th run batted in now for Shaver. Wasted no time swinging at that first pitch, made solid contact. And Shaver now working on a 2-for-2 day at the plate. And now a no-ball, one-strike count on Colby Perez, who walked his first time. Shaver now takes off for second as Perez fights off this ball over to third base, and Rittenberg able to make an over-the-shoulder catch. Looks like that one might get past him, but he timed the jump and made a nice catch for the out that ends the inning. But Milford strikes for two more, and they take a 4-2 lead now over the Sharon Eagles on this coverage of Milford High School Athletics on Milford TV. Start of inning number 3 here at Pheno Field as Colby Perez buzzes one inside on Daniel Zagorin. Backs him off the plate. Zagorin, Rittenberg, and Martinez in the inning for the Eagles as this ball is tapped foul at the dish, evening the count at 1-1. We neglected to mention at the outset of this game that with Sharon having both a designated hitter and their starting pitcher in the lineup, one positional player flexed out of their lineup, and that is their catcher, Henry Ward, only appearing in the game defensively. It's a 2-ball, 1-strike count now on Zagorin. Here's the pitch, and it's sent on the ground to shortstop. Shaver looks it into the glove, now fires across the diamond for the out. We also want to welcome in all of our viewers who are once again tuned in to us via the live stream app. We understand that we may be having some audio issues on the live stream today, so we do apologize if the audio is not coming through quite loud and clear, but happy to have you with us on the game this afternoon. Tim Coet here on the call for Milford TV. Bases are empty with one away in the top of the third, and now this ball lifted out into shallow left center field, and that's going to drop down for another Sharon base hit. So 2 hits in the game today now for the Eagles, and they have both been bloop base hits out to left field. Could have made a case the first time around for Justin Brown that Carter Scudo could have come in on that ball a little harder to make the catch. That ball, really nothing anyone could do out in that Bermuda Triangle out there between left, center, and shortstop. So J.D. Rittenberg, after making that nice catch at third base to conclude the bottom of the second, gets aboard with a 1-out knock. Now takes off for second base, a swing and a miss. The throw down from Tyler Almeida is there in time. It was a high throw, but a nice job by Matt Shaver to pull that catch down and slap the tag on Rittenberg just in time. So a caught stealing brings the second out of the inning, and now a 1-ball, 1-strike count on the DH, Noah Martinez. And the next pitch misses up and away. And now sliced foul off the bat of Martinez. 2 balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. The base is empty in the top half of the third. Perez back into the wind, and the delivery again misses up and away. This is the 6th appearance on the pitcher's mound this season for Colby Perez. All of his appearances have been starts. Now a 3-2 pitch, and that, I beg your pardon, a 2-2 pitch apparently. The scoreboard a little ahead of the count. So another chance for Perez to end the inning. Here it comes. Instead, he misses outside once again, and that time it will indeed be ball 4. And that is now the 4th walk of the game for Colby Perez coming into this start. He had just 10 walks through his first 19 innings pitched. But already now with 4 through the first 2 2/3 of this game. So that command has been hit or miss. Able to deliver a first pitch strike into Max LeBlanc. And now fires one on the outside edge to make it a 0-2 count. That caught stealing now looms large in this inning. Otherwise, we'd have a 2-on, 1-out situation instead of a runner at first and 2 down. Here's the 0-2 pitch. And that time they tried to get LeBlanc to chase, but too far outside. And the count goes to 1-2. Wind once again blowing straight out over the Pheno Field fence in left center field. As this ball is trickled over towards first base, Corsini will use the pitcher to cover the bag to get the out that ends the inning. Another runner stranded for the Sharon Eagles. And another half inning in the books here at Pheno Field, where it remains Milford 4 and Sharon 2 on coverage of Milford High School baseball on Milford TV. 4 runs on 3 hits with no errors for Milford. 2 runs, 2 hits, 1 error for the Sharon Eagles. And now getting into the bottom half of the 3rd inning, where Danny Corsini leads it off for the Scarlet Hawks. Corsini 0 for 1 on the day with a flyout. Takes that pitch high. Corsini with 8 runs batted in on the season. Settled into such a key role with this team. He's the leader of this pitching staff. And in one of the primary run-producing spots in the batting order, he has been in either the 3 or 4 spot in the lineup through the majority of the season. Today, batting cleanup. Can't say enough about the performance so far on the season for the senior captain. Now sends a dribbler past the pitcher. It's going to be a tough play for Reinbold at second. He can't make it, and Corsini is going to reach. And that will definitely go as a base hit for Corsini. Would have taken quite an effort for Reinbold to be able to make a play on that ball. It was really Justin Nolt, the pitcher, who was the only one who had a chance to record an out, and once it got past his glove. Result an infield base hit for Corsini to start off the bottom of the 3rd. Now Tyler Almeida, who last time up drove in 2 runs with a single, ended up advancing all the way to 3rd base on an error out in right field. And now a foul ball off over the top of the backstop and out of play. Now the pitch misses outside. So Almeida continuing his offensive surge, looking for another one here with a runner on first base. That runner takes off, the pitch misses low, the throw down from Ward is not in time. It's a good throw, but a better jump for Corsini, who ends up with the theft of second base. It's the 5th stolen base for Corsini this season. Now a 2-1 pitch to Almeida is lifted high in the air, out to very shallow right field. Reinbolt on the outfield grass makes the catch. And so Almeida is retired. Tough sky here for these fielders today with the bright sunshine, very little cloud cover overhead. But again, you're not going to hear many complaints. Feels like the first game we've seen here at Pheno Field all season that has actually had sunshine. First pitch strike now delivered to Carter Scudo, who lined out to left field to conclude the first inning. Now sends a high fly ball out to the gap in left center field. On the run goes the center fielder, Filipkowski, tumbling into the gap to make the catch. Outstanding play from Alec Filipkowski. It looked like that ball was going to touch down for extra bases, but Filipkowski got a great jump and was able to make the diving catch. We've seen some very good defense turned in by this Sharon team so far today, but none better than that play right there. So Corsini giving Milford a promising start to this inning with the leadoff base hit and the stolen base, but he remains at second now with 2 away. Mario Lee hoping to extend the inning, but he is going to find himself right now in a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Lee was hit by a pitch his first time up. Came around to score on the Nick Marcolini sac fly that gave Milford, at the time, a 3-2 lead. That lead is now 4-2 as this ball misses in the dirt. Corsini reading it right away, takes off for third and gets there standing up. Henry Ward sending the throw down there and was fortunate that Rittenberg stepped away into foul territory to make sure that ball didn't get past him. Otherwise, it would have meant another run. Now a 2-1 pitch to Lee. He takes it for a called strike. Long look in now for Justin Nault, trying to end this inning with no runs allowed. Here's his 2-2 pitch, and Lee sends it on the ground to third base. Rittenberg has it, and throws to first base, and plenty of time to get Lee for the out that ends the inning. So a leadoff hit goes by the boards for the Scarlet Hawks. We've played 3 now in this game. It is 4-2. Milford on top of Sharon here on Milford TV. A 1-ball, no-strike count on the first Sharon batter of the inning, and now a sharp ground ball hit to third. Mario Lee played that one into the body, but then threw wild to first base. And reaching and now heading down to second base is Filipkowski. So Alec Filipkowski, who made that standout defensive play. That helped shut down a potential rally for Milford in the bottom of the third. Now paces this first inning, gets to second base. That should go as a single and an error. So the error charged to Mario Lee at third. Again, getting a little experience at the position here today. He has not spent much time in the field defensively. Been primarily used as a relief pitcher on the year. But immediately a runner in scoring position, and you can hear some activity now loosening in the Milford bullpen. And now a bluff pickoff move to second base sends Filipkowski diving back to the bag. Now showing bunt is Justin Nault, fouls it away at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes on the Sharon starting pitcher, who is 0 for 1 today, grounded out to first base. And now again, Perez looks that runner back to second base. This time Filipkowski not quite going all the way back to the bag, with Perez not following through on the throw. Jumps back out to a big secondary lead as Perez delivers the pitch in the dirt. And in the end, Filipkowski wins the battle. He advances to third base on the second wild pitch of the game for Colby Perez. And now a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Potential run now standing at third base for the Eagles. And now a chopper foul at the plate, grabbed on the bare hand by Tyler Almeida. I think at this point, this is a closer game than I think a lot of fans thought that Milford would be in at this point. As now this ball is hit hard on the ground to shortstop. Shaver looks at the plate and then eventually fires to first base to get the sure out there. But Filipkowski crossing the plate with the third Sharon run of the day. Justin Nault credited with an RBI on the ground out. So far, all of the runs scored for Sharon today have come on ground ball outs. But they narrow it back down to a 1-run Milford lead. The bases are empty now with 1 down. And Ben Reinbold looks at a first pitch strike from Perez. This is a part of the lineup that gave Perez quite a bit of trouble the last time around. Reinbold and Petoskey out of the 8 and 9 spots, walking back-to-back in the second inning. Perez was eventually able to strand both men on. Activity continuing to loosen in the Scarlet Hawks pen as Perez misses inside with the pitch. That's now 2-1. Back into the windup. And the 2-1 pitch swung on and missed. Now the 2-2 offering, and that is sent foul. Just getting a piece was Reinbold to stay alive. Still a 2-ball, 2-strike count. And now a hard ground ball back up the middle, past Shaver's glove, and out into center field. So once again, Reinbold wins the battle against Perez, this time with a ground ball base hit. And so another runner on in this 4th inning for Sharon as their number 9 hitter, Elliot Petoskey, comes to the plate. Shows bunt and ultimately takes a called strike. Short lead at first base as again, Petoskey was turning as if to bunt, did not offer, and ends up taking a called strike too. So now we'll see if the bunt sign stays on here with 2 strikes. And a miss well outside by Perez, yanking that ball far to the outside part of the plate. This has been uncharacteristic of what we've seen the 2 previous times we've seen Perez pitch on this season. Now a soft ground ball hit over to first base. Corsini gobbles it up, takes it to the bag unassisted for out number 2. Reinbold able to advance safely down to second base. But now with 2 away, and so once again, Justin Brown will come to the plate with a runner in scoring position. He came up last time with runners at first and second and 2 down, and sent a pop up to shortstop to end the inning. Now swings at the first pitch and grounds it foul just wide of third base. Brown 1 for 2 overall on the afternoon with a run scored. Perez back to the set. And now the pitch, a good one on the inner edge. Nothing in 2 the count on the Sharon leadoff hitter, Justin Brown. Perez ready with another pitch, and it's fought off foul over the bleachers behind the first base dugout. Took a hard ricochet off of one of the storage containers. It stays nothing in 2. And again, Perez keeping an eye on that runner at second base. Now fires in another 0-2, and it's a line drive hit out to left field, but there's room for Carter Scudo to come in to make the play for the out that ends the inning. And so Sharon will strand their 4th base runner of the afternoon. And on to the bottom of the 4th we go here at Pheno Field with the score now Milford 4 and Sharon 3 on coverage of Scarlet Hawks Athletics on Milford TV. Luke Rosa getting this bottom half of the 4th inning started. Rosa reached on a walk his first time up. He will be followed by Justin Appleby and Nick Marcolini in the inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and it's hit hard in the air out to right center field. A long run again for Filipkowski. Is he able to run it down again? Not this time. It travels out deep in right center field, and Luke Rosa with excellent speed has absolutely no problem getting into third base with a lead-off triple. Filipkowski nearly ran down another one, but just could not get there in time. And Rosa, we know the kind of speed that he brings on the football field. That was exactly what we saw as he made his way to third base, standing up with the triple. And now Justin Appleby, first pitch swinging, hits it hard to third base. They're able to apply the tag on Rosa, and he is out. J.D. Rittenberg playing that ball on a hop, so Appleby safe at first base on what will be a fielder's choice. Absolutely nothing Rosa could do, taking a lead there at third. The ball took a hop right to Rittenberg, leading him towards the third base bag and able to apply the tag there. And so Sharon gets a break. So again, it will go in the books as a fielder's choice for Justin Appleby. He is now the lone runner at first with 1 out in the inning. And now Marcolini trying to surprise Sharon with a bunt. Rittenberg playing fairly deep at third base, so Marcolini trying to drop that one down the line to beat it out for a base hit. Now up and away, the pitch misses, and a snap throw from Ward to first base. But Appleby able to get back. Now the 1-1 pitch, that is low. Marcolini looking for his first hit. Popped out in the first inning and then Did drive in a run on a sacrifice fly his last time up. Runner takes off. Got a perfect jump. Justin Nault paying absolutely no attention to Appleby, who got about 5 steps down the line before Nault even went into his windup. And Appleby now with a huge lead at second base as the 3-1 pitch into Marcolini misses for ball 4. So runners at first and second base as Milford threatens to tack on to the lead. They have the right man at the plate to do it. Matt Shaver, who is working on a 2-for-2 afternoon at the dish. Drove in a run his last time up. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Shaver lets it go, and a borderline strike call. Could have been ruled high or outside. Instead, it's ruled a called strike. Sharon first baseman Max LeBlanc playing right in on the grass at first base. And now a throw down to second. And Appleby is able to get back. Initially, Nault just spinning around as if to look that runner back, but then sent a flat-footed throw over there, and it was close. But Appleby gets the foot back on the base, now bounces right back out to a lead. And the 1-1 pitch is up at the eye level of Matt Shaver. Now the 2-1, and Shaver with a big cut. Looking to drive that pitch, but he came up empty. Colby Perez waiting on deck. And now the 2-2 pitch. It's hit softly to shortstop. They'll sling it to second base, but the throw gets away from Ben Reinbold out into shallow right. And Justin Appleby will come around from third base to score. The throw looked to be on line from Justin Brown, but Reinbold just did not secure the catch. So that should end up going as an error on the second baseman. So the second Sharon error of the day. Shaver reaches on the fielder's choice as Appleby comes around to score an unearned run. A 5-3 lead now for the Scarlet Hawks, with Colby Perez at the plate, fouling off the first pitch he sees. And now a called strike brings the count to 0-2. Perez a walk and a line out, and two trips to the plate so far. And now fights that one off to stay alive, just past Danny Corsini in the on-deck circle. Perez came into the day batting .304 with 9 runs batted in. Now the 0-2 pitch. Perez sends a bouncer to first base. They'll get the out at second. Now the return throw to first is not in time. So they get the 3-6 force play at second that cuts down Shaver. Another fielder's choice play, the third of the inning, allows Perez to reach. Marcolini, meanwhile, advances to third base. So runners at the corners with 2 outs. And Corsini sends a hard shot foul, whizzing past the feet of Coach Alex Dion in the third base coach's area. No balls and 1 strike. Nault trying to limit the damage in this inning to just the one run. Runner takes off from first base as this ball is driven into the gap in left center field off the bat of Corsini, rolling towards the fence. And damage done indeed as Marcolini scores. Here comes Perez across the plate as Danny Corsini slides into third base with the second triple of the inning. This one scoring 2 runs for the Scarlet Hawks as they open up a 7-3 lead. Corsini absolutely ripping that pitch into the gap. Driving in 2 runs in the process as Marcolini and Perez are able to jog home. And so it's been now a 3-run inning for the Scarlet Hawks. And a conference on the pitcher's mound right now for Justin Nault, so close to getting out of the inning. He will remain in the game to face Tyler Almeida. We haven't seen any activity warming up in the Sharon bullpen. So this game continues to belong to Justin Nault for the time being. And now Almeida sends the first pitch foul and out of play. Tyler 1 for 2 with that 2-run single back in the first. So the Milford captains have been impressive at the plate today. Almeida with a hit and 2 runs batted in. Corsini 2 hits and 2 runs batted in. Matt Shaver also with a pair of hits and an RBI. And Nick Marcolini has been on base and has driven in a run as well. And now Almeida taking aim out in shallow center field, and that's going to just elude the dive of Alec Filipkowski, and that will bring in another run. Dropping just in front of the dive of Filipkowski, who has been giving max effort out in center field for Sharon all day, but just could not get to that one. Second hit and 3rd run batted in for Tyler Almeida in this game, and it is now 8-3 Scarlet Hawks. And the line keeps moving. Now the 8th batter to come to the plate in this 4th inning. Carter Scudo takes a called strike, and Tyler Almeida with a bit of a delayed steal, able to get to second base without a throw. That drew some cheers from the third base dugout. And Nault, meanwhile, with another strike to jump ahead of Scudo, 0-2. Scudo was the only member of the Milford lineup to not reach base today. Wind continues to blow out to left center as Scudo goes around on the swing. They check to the infield umpire, who said indeed he offered at it, and it ends up going as a strikeout to end the inning. But the damage done for the Scarlet Hawks as they end up scoring 3 times in the inning, make it 4 times in the inning, and they open up an 8-3 lead. Milford on top of Sharon here on Milford TV. A new pitcher on for the Scarlet Hawks as we enter into the top of the 5th. Weston Solomon. He delivers the first pitch low for ball 1. Sophomore getting into this game in the later innings after Colby Perez fought his way through the first 4 innings. It was not his strongest outing of the year, but he was able to limit the damage to 3 runs on 3 hits for Sharon. Ended up walking 4, only had 1 strikeout through 4 innings of work, but the offense coming up big, especially scoring 4 times last inning to open up an 8-3 lead. Solomon, after falling behind 3-0, now delivers a strike into Daniel Zagorin to lead off the top of the fifth. Working very quickly and now gets a fly ball out to center field. Room for Nick Marcolini. Almost came in too far, but he makes the catch for out number one. So for Weston Solomon, this is his third appearance on the pitcher's mound this season. All of them have come in relief. He's thrown 6 1/3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 6 hits with 3 walks. But of those 4 runs, none of them have been earned. And now able to jump ahead of J.D. Rittenberg. No balls and 2 strikes. The righty back into the windup and the pitch. This is floated out into shallow right field. That is trouble, and it's down for a base hit. So Rittenberg, for the second time today, able to benefit from a bloop base hit. First time out into shallow left, this time out into shallow right. Drops in front of Justin Appleby, who is now patrolling right field. So the corresponding defensive changes. Perez remains in the game at second base with Appleby shifting out to right. Luke Rosa not out there defensively at the moment. So a 1-out base runner after Sharon is able to collect now their 5th hit of the game. And now a 1-0 count on Noah Martinez. Martinez drove in a run on a ground out in the first inning and then reached on a walk his last time. Solomon keeping Rittenberg close to the first base bag. Now a big secondary lead as Martinez was fooled on the pitch, tried to hold up on the swing midway through, but went around an awkward cut to even the count at 1. Now another pickoff play at first base, but once again, Rittenberg gets back to the bag. And now the pitch misses up top. Pretty good velocity on these pitches from Solomon. So much young talent on this pitching staff for the Scarlet Hawks. Solomon, another sophomore, making an impact out of the bullpen as this pitch is popped straight up. Almeida trying to find it in foul ground now on the third base side. He overruns it and it drops harmlessly foul. Almeida had all kinds of trouble locating that ball. Coach Dion was trying to direct traffic, but Almeida never really caught sight of the ball and it ended up dropping behind him. Mario Lee and Weston Solomon also coming over to try to offer assistance, but none of them could make the play. And another chance for Martinez on the 2-ball, 2-strike count. And ends up taking that ball just inside. That had great late movement on it from Solomon. Just narrowly missing the inside part of the plate. Full count now on the hitter. We'll see if the runner at first elects to take off. Runner holds as the pitch is lifted out to right center field. Nick Marcolini having to take charge, and he runs that ball down. Appleby a little timid going into that right center field gap, so Marcolini took charge. Made a very nice running catch for out number 2. Two down, that runner remains at first base now for Max LeBlanc. another quick pickoff move. And safe once again is Rittenberg. Max LeBlanc in search of his first hit and is not going to get it here. Made good contact, but Colby Perez able to make the catch on the line drive for the out that ends the inning. And so no runs scored once again as Sharon strands another base runner. It is an 8-3 lead for the Scarlet Hawks over the visiting Sharon Eagles as we head on to the home half of the fifth inning next here on Milford TV. Mario Lee paces the inning for the Scarlet Hawks. Quick 1-ball, 1-strike count. Milford so far today with 2 runs in the first, 2 in the second, and 4 in the fourth to assume an 8-3 lead. This was a game that did not start out in the best of fashion for Milford. They allowed 2 runs in the top of the first inning to fall behind. But quickly able to get the equalizer in the bottom half of the first inning. They took the lead in the second, and they have not looked back since. Meanwhile, the starting pitcher for Sharon still in the game. Through 4 innings, allowing 8 runs, 7 earned on 7 hits, 3 walks, and 2 strikeouts. And now able to get Mario Lee to open up this inning on a called strike 3. Lee was the only Milford batter to not come to the plate in that 4th inning rally. He strikes out to open the 5th, and now Weston Solomon will take an at-bat, so Luke Rosa coming completely out of the game. Pitched a scoreless inning of relief in the top half of this inning. Solomon with limited action at the plate on the season. Here's the 2-0 pitch, and that's in for a called strike. He has 1 hit in 6 at-bats. He has scored a couple of runs. He's also walked twice. Now pops the 2-1 pitch up in foul ground over on the third base side. A nice bid for Henry Ward as he slid in on the knees on the warning track, but could not haul it in. And it's a 2-ball, 2-strike count. Now Justin Nault ready with the 2-2 pitch, and that misses up and in. And now the 3-2 pitch is carved foul. It takes a big clang off the bleachers behind the plate, or perhaps another one of those storage units off behind the first base side. And another 3-2, and that drops in for a called strike 3. So Nault, much stronger look so far in this 5th inning, back-to-back Ks. He now has 4 in total. And that leaves the inning up to Justin Appleby. Reached on a fielder's choice and scored a run last inning. That takes the first pitch outside for ball 1. Taking a look at Milford assistant principal and former athletic director Rich Pierre Gustavo wandering around the field here today. We'd be remiss as Justin Appleby extends the inning with a base hit if we did not mention that Coach Pierre Gustavo's oldest daughter, Allie, who of course had a distinguished career with the Milford softball team, then went on to play at St. Bonaventure, just wrapping up her collegiate career last week, playing in her final game at St. Bonaventure. An outstanding softball player at both the high school and collegiate level, seeing that college career come to an end last week. So we want to congratulate Allie on an outstanding playing career. We wish her all the best in her future beyond college. Younger sister Emily Pierre-Gustavo wrapping up her freshman year at UConn. What an outstanding athletic family, tremendous talent. Outstanding student athletes all the way around. This bottom of the fifth inning continues with Nick Marcolini at the plate. The pickoff throw getting away from the first baseman Max LeBlanc, and plenty of speed for Justin Appleby, who will hustle his way all the way to third, as again, once that ball gets away at first base, it has plenty of room to roll. And Appleby making it all the way to third base. Good hustle. So the third error now in the game for Sharon puts another potential run at third base for the Scarlet Hawks. The error on the throw from the pitcher. Now that pitch misses wide of the plate. 3-0 now on Marcolini, who walked his last time up. Marcolini taking all the way. He takes that one for a strike. Nault back to the set. And the 3-1 pitch is lifted in the air out to center field. Filipkowski ranging back, almost runs out of room, leaves his feet and makes the catch. Ends up getting the job done, living dangerously, but makes the play for the out that retires the side. So Milford strands a runner at third base. 5 innings in the books now at Pheno Field, where it is Milford 8 and the Sharon Eagles 3 here on Milford TV. Solomon back out on the mound for his second inning of relief. Fires ball 1 into Alec Filipkowski. He's made some highlight reel catches on the day. Played himself into perhaps a little bit more of a difficult play than it needed to be to conclude that bottom half of the fifth inning. Was casually going back on that ball. It got up into that breeze that's been consistently blowing out to center field throughout the day, and eventually had to make the last minute lunge to secure the catch, but he was able to make it. It's now a 2-ball, 2-strike count on Filipkowski. He'll be followed in the inning by Nault and Reinbold. There is now finally some activity loosening in the bullpen for the Eagles. It's been a very long afternoon for Justin Nault, although he did have one of his best innings of the game in the bottom half of the fifth. Pop up over towards third base, and Mario Lee able to make the catch. And you can see the leadership there for Matt Shaver. Mario Lee, inexperienced over there at third base. You could hear him as the play was developing, imploring Lee to call for the ball to make the catch, and then afterwards a few other words exchanged, making sure that the communication is there. That is something that's been very good for this team this season. You've seen very good communication amongst the infielders, outfielders. That stems from some solid leadership from the top down. Here's a 1-1 pitch that had Nault backing out of the box. He was not granted time. The home plate umpire is not required to grant timeout to the batter. Solomon not taking a lot of time in between pitches. It's a 2-ball, 2-strike count now. And the pitch misses outside. You know, these fielders appreciate the pace that Solomon is operating with on the mound. And now a line drive out to left center field and just out of the reach of Carter Scudo. Now racing towards second base is Knowlton. He's going to get there without a throw, a stand-up double with 1 out in the inning. Scudo very nearly ran that ball down. It just snuck past his glove. And the result, a one-out double for the Sharon starting pitcher. Gives the Eagles a little bit of life here in the top of the 6th, with their 8 and 9 hitters coming up, who have been on base 3 out of the 4 times they've come to the plate collectively. A walk and a base hit for Reinbold out of the 8th spot. A walk and a ground out for Elliot Petoskey. Solomon immediately checks in on that runner. Now fires to the plate and sends in strike 1. Talking to Coach Dion before the game, he was hoping to give Solomon a chance to pitch in this game. The schedule has been a bit inconsistent in terms of the workload this season. This is another week in which Milford will only play 2 games, and so it's been difficult to get some of these bullpen arms the work that Coach Dion would like to keep them fresh, but also up to game speed. 2-1 pitch upcoming. Here it is. And it is just fouled away at the plate. That breeze a little bit stiffer now. American flag in left center field fully extended. Still very comfortable temperatures and still a lot of bright sunshine as we get into the evening hours here at Pheno Field, quickly approaching 6 o'clock. 3-2 count now on Reinbold. And now the payoff pitch misses outside for ball 4. Reinbold walks for the 2nd time, on base for the 3rd time. And Sharon now with 2 on and 1 down. And we'll see another mound visit here for the Scarlet Hawks. Most of the infield will get involved. In fact, now the entire infield starts to drift in. Taking a little bit of a closer look at Milford's schedule. They ended up winning 3 in a row. We covered 2 of those victories here on Milford TV. Wins against Stoughton and Oliver Ames. They then were able to come through with a win on the road against the Canton Bulldogs. After that victory, Milford briefly was able to move up into 1st place before they ended up losing that tight 5-4 game to Attleboro in their last time out. And so as a result, now in 2nd place, just behind the Sharon Eagles, is now first pitch swinging. This ball is driven deep out to left field. This is over Scudo's head. And 1 run coming home for Sharon, a 2nd right behind. And it'll be a 2-run triple for the Eagles. They're able to get back on the scoreboard now to make this an 8-5 game. That happened in a hurry. And so once again, it's these bottom 2 spots in the Sharon order that have been so difficult. This time it was thanks to the pinch hitter, so it was Sam Freeman batting in the spot of Elliot Petoskey, who was able to rip that ball out to deep left center. That would have been a home run in a lot of high school parks. Of course, not here at Pheno. Ends up as the 2-run triple that tightens things up here. Now a 3-run lead for Milford. It's the third triple we've seen in the game today, the first two on the Scarlet Hawks side. It's also the second extra base hit of this inning. Justin Nault with the double, now Freeman with the triple. And Solomon able to battle back to get the strikeout of Justin Brown. Leaves the inning up to Daniel Zagorin. Zagorin takes a look at ball one. Sam Freeman remains at third base after checking into the game and quickly delivering the biggest Eagles hit so far of the afternoon. Now a bouncing ball to third, stabbed by Mario Lee. His throw on line to first base to get the out that ends the inning, but Sharon does collect a pair on that two-run triple. And so we will head to the home half of the sixth inning now. Milford with an 8-5 lead over the Sharon Eagles on this coverage of Milford High School baseball on Milford TV. The new pitcher on for Sharon here in the bottom half of the sixth inning is the former third baseman J.D. Rittenberg. Moves in from his former post to take over on the mound. Ends up being a straight swap of positions as Justin Nault remains in the game. He takes over at third base. Nault going the first five. He allowed 8 runs, 7 earned on 8 hits, walked 3, struck out 4. Was able to finish on a bit of a high note. Faced just 4 batters in the bottom of the fifth inning. Struck out 2. Forced Milford to strand their 5th runner of the game. But right now on the hook for the loss if his team cannot come back. Milford, meanwhile, looking to pad their lead. Matt Shaver leading off the frame, sends a one-hopper to shortstop. Brown, a strong throw to first base to get the out. This is the first time all game Matt Shaver's been held off the bases. One down now as Colby Perez will make his 4th plate appearance. He's walked, lined out, reached on a fielder's choice. He's also stolen a base and scored a run today. One ball, no strike count. And Rittenberg winds and fires and deals in a called strike. And now misses outside. Rittenberg overall today has been one of the bright spots for Sharon offensively. He's batted 2 for 3 with a run batted in. He's made some very nice defensive plays at third base. Now hoping that translates on the pitcher's mound and able to get a swing and a miss against Perez. That brings the count to 2-2. Next one on the way, and it's belted in the air down the left field line. Will that stay in fair territory? It will, and will one hop towards the fence. Extra bases for Perez. He takes a turn around second base, but he will hold there with a 1-out double. The only question was, would that ball stay fair as it sliced down the left field line? Got up into that breeze, kept traveling. Dropped down in fair territory, a little ways in front of the left field fence. So this has certainly been a hitter's wind here at Pheno Field today. We've talked about it frequently. That breeze has been blowing out for virtually the entire game, and it's no surprise that we have seen quite a few extra base hits on both sides. Two triples in the game for Milford, now a double. In one count now on Danny Corsini. He has one of those extra base hits. Came in his last at bat as he drilled a 2-run triple out to the left center field gap. Now takes a pitch outside to even the count at 1. Corsini with 2 hits on the day, so a lot of batting averages will take an uptick at the end of this one for the Scarlet Hawks. Hesitation for Rittenberg. Fires in the 1-1 pitch. Swing and a miss. Skips to the backstop, and Perez will trot into third base. Milford had their 5-run lead trimmed down to 3 after Sam Freeman's 2-run triple in the top half of this inning. Sharon now bringing their infield in tight. Third baseman right in on the grass. Everyone else a couple of steps behind the infield grass. And now the pitch drops in low, skips away from the catcher, but not quite far enough for Perez to try and score. Three-two pitch coming up to Corsini, and it misses outside. And Danny will work the walk on base now for the 3rd time. And runners at the corners now ahead of Tyler Almeida. Almeida collected his 2nd hit and his 3rd run batted in his last at bat. Locked in at the plate as now Corsini with the delayed takeoff for second base. He'll get there with no throw from Henry Ward, guarding against that runner at third base. So an uncontested steal and an 0-1 count on Almeida. And he sends a high fly ball out to right center field. Racing over into the gap is Filipkowski, again into the dive. And I think they're going to say that Filipkowski made the catch. I believe I saw the out call. And instead, no, they're going to say that landed for a base hit. That was a strange call. It looked like initially the infield umpire put up the out call, but then said no, that was trapped. And at the end of the day, 2 runs come home for the Scarlet Hawks, and Tyler Almeida winds up at third base. So it's been hard to tell with Filipkowski today with all of the ground that he has covered in center field, and again went into the dive, into those shadows in right center field. And it looked like for a moment even the Sharon infielders were unsure of whether to head back to the dugout or not, but it goes as a triple for Tyler Almeida. So there is yet another triple on the day. 2 more runs batted in for Almeida. How about this now? 5 runs batted in for Tyler Almeida, who has been absolutely on fire. And so Milford grabs those runs right back to take a 10-5 lead. A 2-ball, 1-strike count now on Carter Scudo. Scudo will watch that hit the outside part of the plate. Still just 1 out in this inning. So even had Filipkowski made that catch, it still would not have ended the inning. So just general confusion on whether or not Filipkowski made the catch. No confusion there as Scudo is out number 2. So a double for Perez, a walk for Corsini, and then the triple for Tyler Almeida to bring home 2 more runs. He is at third base now with 2 down. One ball and no strikes on Mario Lee, looking for his first hit today. He reached on a hit by pitch back in the 2nd inning. Officially 0 for 2. Almeida creeping out to a lead at third base as Lee watches that pitch miss low. Rittenberg winds and fires, sends that one on the inside part of the plate for a called strike. Now the 2-1 pitch popped up, and that will go beyond the field of play. So Rittenberg out of the bullpen so far in this inning. Responsible for 2 runs on 2 hits. He's also surrendered a walk and has a strikeout. Now a 2-2 pitch into Mario Lee, then misses high. Weston Solomon would be next if we continue. And the payoff pitch, that misses low, skips away. Here comes Almeida to the plate, and he will score. So a wild pitch on ball 4 to Lee results in another run coming home for the Scarlet Hawks. They now open up an 11-5 lead. And now Weston Solomon taking his 2nd at bat of the game, loops one foul over towards the third base dugout, and that one didn't hang up long enough for catcher or third baseman to make their way over to make the catch. Solomon struck out, coming up in his first pinch hitting at bat in the 5th inning. Here's the 0-1, that misses. So the biggest lead of the game now for Milford at 11-5. And Solomon now rips that one down the third base line, but foul. Coverage of Milford High School baseball here this afternoon. We will be in the Milford gym tomorrow night for more boys volleyball coverage. A lot of away games over the last several weeks for the volleyball team, but we will check back in with them tomorrow night. And hoping to have better success on our live stream. Again, we apologize for anyone tuning into the live stream coverage today having audio issues. We've checked and double checked the connections on our end, everything sounding fine here, so something perhaps on the live stream end that is causing our audio to be less than stellar for the game here today. So again, if you're tuned into us live, we appreciate you bearing with the audio issues. Hopefully we'll have some clean audio for you from the Milford gym tomorrow for boys volleyball action. A 3-ball, 2-strike count now on Weston Solomon with Mario Lee, the lone base runner at first. The pitch that's sent on the ground to shortstop. Brown has it, flips to second base for the force play. That will end the inning. But Milford collecting some insurance thanks to the extra base hitting of both Colby Perez and Tyler Almeida in the inning. Tyler Almeida, the big offensive hero so far of the day. And the result, an 11-5 lead for Milford heading into the 7th inning. Looks like we'll see Matt Shaver on the mound for this 7th inning. We'll have it started for you right after this here on Milford TV. Some more changes for the Scarlet Hawks as we enter into the 7th inning. As we mentioned, Matt Shaver will take over as the 3rd Milford pitcher. Corresponding defensive changes. It looks like Jaden Fernandez comes into the game to take over at shortstop. Also a new second baseman. It looks like Nicholas Patterson out there. The rest of the defensive alignment appears to be the same, as Matt Shaver will face batters 3, 4, and 5 in the Sharon lineup. Now a hard ground ball to third base, snagged by Lee. He will fire across the diamond to get the out on J.D. Rittenberg. 1 up and 1 down in the inning. So Shaver enters the game in relief. This is his 3rd relief appearance on the season. Has a 1-0 record. And 3 1/3 innings pitched. He's allowed 1 earned run on 4 hits. Has a strikeout. And now this ball sent in the air out to right field. Perfectly placed was Justin Appleby to make the catch. Noah Martinez down on just 1 pitch. And that brings Sharon down to their final out of the game, as Max LeBlanc will stand in. He is 0 for 4. Ground out to second in the 1st inning. Grounded out to first base in the 3rd, and lined out to second base in the 5th inning. Ball 1 misses outside. Milford 1 out away from sweeping the season series against the Eagles. They were victorious against Sharon on opening day of the season on the road, 9-0. So it was a bit of a different complexion to the game here today. It was close until these late innings, but Milford taking command. And now the flip from Patterson to first base gets there in time for the out that ends the game. And Matt Shaver slams the door with a quick and easy 1-2-3 top of the 7th inning. And you can put another win in the column for the Milford Scarlet Hawks as they defeat the Sharon Eagles today by a final score of 11-5. So Milford now with 4 wins in their last 5 games. And overall on the season now they improve to 8-6, 6-5 within league play. And with the loss, Sharon, their struggles continue. They are now 1-12 overall on the year. Milford will next be in action coming up on May 13th on the road against the Foxborough Warriors. And so that will wrap up our coverage here this afternoon. A big thank you to our Milford TV crew on hand for the game, our director Patrick Garapi, and our camera operators Scott Crisafulli and Igor Freeman. And I am Tim Coet. That final score, one final time, Milford 11 and the Sharon Eagles 5. This has been a presentation of Milford High School Athletics here on Milford TV. So long, everybody.